Is there any possibility to get a clicker around here? Lovely, thank you so much. Hello, I am Karin, and when I started calculating how long I have been working in different government organizations, it appears it's been more than 10 years, which is a bit amazing because I graduated high school like a couple of years ago, right? So now it's a good time to put down your laptops and your smartphones. I know for a fact that one of you is playing Pokemon and others are doing even less interesting stuff. So I'm going to show you a lot of photos, which to engage, you should be able to look at. So let's go. You've all seen this one probably, right? No, he hasn't. Let me tell you. It's probably the most known form of government communication, the billboard. That one was invented before World War II when Britain was preparing for it. Surprisingly enough, it wasn't really used during that time. They actually found them in 2000, and then it became popular and hipster and cool. However, what government's still doing, although it's been a couple of decades since then, is still using billboards to let people know about what's going on. So today, I'm not going to talk to you about form, because I believe that you don't need convincing that government should go to Twitter and to Facebook to meet people, because, well, I'll leave that to my superiors. They need convincing in that. However, what I'm going to talk about is form, and is how the tips and tricks of how government can actually attract people. Some of it is based on my own experience. Some of it is just pure theory, sorry. Let's go. Rule number 1, be where your audiences are. There are 5 rules so that you can keep track. Well, that's easy. When you're talking to retired people, go to your local radio show, and right before they wish them happy birthday, tell about what you want them to know. If you talk to young people, go to the internet, go to Snapchat. If you want to talk to drivers, go to the road. That makes sense. Be where they are. Not that hard, really, right? These numbers, take a look at them. I'll give you a second to think about what they are. 4.77 billion. That's billion with 9 zeros. I actually had to look that up on the internet. 4.77 billion is the number of mobile phones in the world today, which is pretty amazing. And 46% is the amount of people in the world who use the internet. So, in answer to my question, where are your audiences? This is where they are. This is where you have to go to get them. What do you think is 144? Anyone? It's not my password, but it's the number of times an average person with a smartphone checks their phone in the day. Young people more, consider it more. Older people maybe less, but if you have a smartphone, most probably you have looked at, well, it's been half a day. Most probably you've looked at it for like more than 70 times today. At least I know that I have. And what's 8? Well, 8 is the number of seconds people's attention span has diminished to today. In 2000, it was still 12. And for goldfish, it's actually 9. So we have surpassed the attention span limit of a goldfish. Good luck there. So what do we learn about this? Rule number 2, make those 8 seconds count. The biggest problem about government communication is it's long, it's boring, it's just really, really official. Normal people are not able to read long texts of official documents. What they want is 8 seconds of video, of picture, of you telling them right away what it is. So during these 8 seconds, start with what makes sense for the people. What's in it for me? Not that, according to the law, everybody now has to. I don't care. I care what I have to do. Which leads us to tell people exactly what you want them to do. If you want me to recycle, tell me to recycle. Don't tell me about, the nature is suffering and according to European Union, something or other. Again, I don't care. So government at least I know my government organization I've been working in is really often doing what's called raising awareness. We want to raise people's awareness in this and that, in traffic accidents, in pollution. Well, raising awareness in itself can never be the end goal, because people will have the raised awareness, and so what? You want them to do something as the end of that, and this is what you need to tell them. So your messages have to be terribly clear. You have to tell people what you want, and you have to think about the end user, whether these messages will be right. Well, let's see. This is the poster that Theresa May put up in 2013 in several cities in the UK. The idea of the poster was to make illegal immigrants let themselves be known, or let the government know about them, and then the government should deport them in a nice and sweet manner. Now, put yourself in the shoes of an illegal immigrant. If you see this billboard, how does it make you feel? Would you text that number and let them know about you? Probably not. Because, as you can see, 106 arrests have been made last week in my area. Lovely. I need to react. So what happened is, British government got over 1,500 texts. I can tell that more than 1,000 of them were fake. So you were just saying like, oh, my neighbor is really annoying, deport him, maybe, or something. It spent 17 hours of government officials' work. And what do you think is the number of people who actually left Britain as the result? A bit more than 11. So a lot of money, a lot of work, and the consequence, I believe, is pretty much against what you wanted to do. Rule number 4, government organizations keep doing stuff because this is how we've always done it. Because every March we do this, now we send out this press release because we always do it. Well, I mean, as we have heard today, the world is moving on. We've got artificial intelligence that's more intelligent than probably an average government official can ever be. So you forget how you've always done it. Do it as is quick, as is efficient, and as is helpful. Let's see a cool thing. Have you seen this one? It's a poster in Spain, in the street. It's a child abuse campaign. And it says, sometimes child abuse is visible only to the child themselves. So if you pass it, us being grown-ups, this is what you see. However, the poster has been designed in the way that if you look at it from the adult height, you just see the regular thing, regular poster. But if you look at it from the child's height, you see something different. What comes out is the text. If somebody hurts you, phone us and we'll help you. And the child's face will look bruised. So the point is, usually the person hurting the child is the one who they are with at this point. And they cannot talk to them about it. So you can look at this as a child. Oh, this microphone isn't good. And react. It was very helpful, I can tell you. And I think it's good because they did it differently. They did it not in the way that things are usually done. And rule number 5, be authentic. What I mean is that nobody wants to read corporate communication where governments tell you in a very official language, a very politically correct manner how things are. This is our former president. His name is Toomas Hendrik Ilves. He has 83.8 thousand followers, which is a pretty good number considering that Estonia has 1.3 million people. Every, I think, 15th person is following him. If you take, for example, well, in 2017, Estonia will be the president of the EU for half a year. Their official page has 122 followers at this point. So that's a small difference. Of course, our president had some problems. He liked to drink a bit of cognac in the evening and tweet. And sometimes he got into fight with other countries, but that was okay. He was a cool guy. People followed him because they want authentic emotions, actual person, not some kind of polished presidential, thingy. And now I'm going to tell you about, this was all like peacetime communication, right? This is what you do, what you prepare for daily when you have time to make a cool campaign and talk to people in a calm manner. But, as we've heard, there's loads of fake news and different People whose agenda is to, well, do something that governments are not happy about. Why fake news are dangerous? Let's say these are actual stories. I think it was about 2 months ago when over a fake news story, Pakistan actually issued a nuclear warning to Israel. That's a real thing. And like nuclear war is a real thing. Over fake news, I don't think that's a good idea. Also, I think it was in 2013 or 14, the AP's Facebook account was hacked. And they posted a tweet and a Facebook post saying that White House had an explosion and Barack Obama was injured. Dow Jones dropped like loads, like 100 points. I have no idea what that means, but it means billions of dollars, and the billion is with 9 zeros. So fake news actually changed the world, and they changed the world a lot. Before presidential elections in the US, the top 20 fake news in Facebook grossed out the top 20 actual news. So their shares, likes, engagement was higher than the shares, likes, and engagement of actual news. This is a huge problem, I think. I hope so do you. And, well, since fake news sites have different reasons for, doing whatever they do. Some do it for money, some do it for fame, some do it from sheer joy of trolling, I think. And some do it for political reasons, for propaganda reasons. One of my favorite news sites is Russia Insider. As you can see, there are headlines like, Trump expects Russia to return Crimea. Come and take it, genius. And another post-truth site, as we like to call it, is Sputnik, which is also really great. As you can see, the headline says, Russia's wonderful future inevitable, says Putin. Sputnik is fun, I advise you to read it. I cannot tell you my sources, but I do know that there are about 72 media organizations in Russia who are daily working on Russian propaganda. These include government organizations, news organizations, but besides them, of course, there is a huge number of people just acting on their benefit. The estimated amount of money spent on communication, on propaganda, is 600 million to 1 billion. Again, the billion with 9 zeros. And just this year, Russia opens a Russia Today account in France, which cost another 20 million, with 6 figures, I think. And Russia has officially said that 2017 will be the year when they will actually target Germany most with their propaganda. So good luck if there are any Germans out here. So Russia isn't very, discreet about what they're doing. And they're doing it on a daily basis. Sputnik is, by the way, available in 33 languages, so you can check if your country is here as well. Oh, I got there. Let's see. Oh, yeah. You saw this photo in the morning. Who saw it? Half of you. Okay, I'll just briefly go over it. Emma took my photo, which means great minds do think alike. These are the daisies in Fukushima. They actually grow near the Fukushima area. But Stanford University made an experiment where they showed this photo to, I think it was like 7,000 students. High school, university, different things. And the photo caption says, "Not much more to say. This is what happens when flowers get nuclear birth defects." Students were asked, so do you feel this photo shows that air or environment in Fukushima is polluted? And 40% said, yep, looks totally legit. No more further questions asked. 80% admitted that it's kind of hard to determine whether this is fake or not fake. I really cannot tell. About 20% said that it's a bit dubious. We should find an alternative source and maybe engage in this more. So if we talk about millennials and young people, they have no idea what's fake and what's not. And that's a huge problem. Why is it a problem? Because Marine Le Pen in France has said that the annexation of Crimea was legitimate. As a result of that, half of the population of France thinks that what's going on in Crimea is Ukraine's fault. Seriously. And if we talk about Greece, for example, 27% of Greek population supports the EU, or like feels that the EU is a sensible thing, a sensible organization. A considerably larger percent, however, supports Russia. That's what's going on in Europe. What can governments do about it, though? First of all, to combat fake news, there are several anti-fake news sites. For example, EU versus Disinfo is a European official site which it just like demolishes or it debunks Russian news myths daily. Snopes is for just general like hearsays. That's Fake is also a good site. There are also loads of browser extensions which you can attach to your Google or whatever browser you're using, which then, if you reach a fake news site, tell you that this site is most probably fake. They analyze the style, the language, the places where it has been going, so it will have a pop-up and tell you that, you know, it might be a fake site, be careful. And there are other useful tools. For example, Google is now using cross-check. Facebook is using flagging, but it's only available in, I think, US, France, Germany, but probably coming to other countries as well soon. And then there are pretty cool sites like Spy on Web, which actually lets you see who owns the other sites. Like if you go to a specific site, let's say my website, you can see which other sites I own with the same email address, which is sometimes hugely beneficial if you want to see where information comes from and how it travels. So, just to remind you, those 5 rules of government communication, right? Be where your audiences are, make your 8 seconds count, tell people what to do, forget how you've always done it, and be authentic. And now, as a small cookie, 2 more things for crisis communication. Be quick. Mark Twain said that a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on their shoes. The idea is lies travel really, really, really fast. Things have millions of likes and shares and comments before you can even do something. And when you're a government organization, what really often happens is that you go somewhere to consult with someone and get an approval. You have no time for that. You have to be quick. You have to react quickly. Otherwise, it will spread. Call them, let them take it down, find out where it came from. Just react really, really quickly. Don't wait until tomorrow. And the other thing is educate. Because if you see what fake news can do, if you see how little young people actually realize that fake news are dangerous and what is fake and what's not, then I think education is the best thing governments can do to their people and to their media users. For example, the last slide. In Sweden, they started in kindergarten. This is comics called Bamse Blir, which is a bear. The bear is getting strong, eating honey. Much like Popeye is eating, what is he eating? Spinach? Spinach, yeah. And then becoming strong. And little Bunny is really, really sad because she read on the internet, why is Bunny a she? I'm being sexist, sorry. The bunny read on the internet that the bear is not getting strong anymore eating their honey. And then the wise, wise turtle asks the bunny, so where did you find it? She said, I read it on the internet. And the turtle asked, did you check the source? It actually goes on. I just picked like 2 pictures here. So the moral for the kids, who are probably 5 or 6, is check where your information is coming from. And I guess this is what we all should do. Thank you very much.